Hey Doug, thanks for appearing in the video.
I'm working with Don now.
That's a really dangerous duo because you guys are two of the best gardeners I know, and you're really passionate about this fruit tree business, and not fruit tree business, but this fruit tree business.
Been growing trees for quite a while. I'm very excited about it.
And we've done some videos together from your property where you've taught my YouTube audience how to graft.
Right.
And tell us about your property. How much land do you have? And
I have an acre and a third, depending on how you measure it.
Okay.
And it's got irrigation, so I can grow whatever I want on it. And
Which is the river water that comes in.
River water, a lot better for the trees. It doesn't have all the chlorine and has a little bit of fish and whatever in it, so it's really good for the trees.
Okay.
And floods all the salt away from the root zones. That's the important part. So the salts don't build up in the soil.
And
so that's fantastic.
Very affordable.
Yeah, very affordable. Costs $150 a year, whatever. I've got about 1,000 trees on that property.
On that acre and a third?
I quit counting a while back. So.
And hopefully if folks are lucky before I leave Arizona, we can come there and cover it a few more times to see it. It's really an amazing, like a 30-year project you've had, right?
Yeah, been doing about 30 years. Been great. It's been a fun time.
Now,
learned a lot. Absolutely.
And now you're teaching a lot of other people.
So pass it on. That was the idea behind the rare fruit growers when we got into it.
Talk about that. What is that?
Okay, I was when I first started trying to get into it, I was struggling to try to figure out how to grow things.
Yeah.
And
back, what year was that?
That was 84, 85, somewhere in there.
Wow. And
when I really got into trying to grow the rare fruit tree. And came across a few people that were part of the California rare fruit growers. Al Falkenstein was the one that got me started.
Okay.
And California rare fruit growers, basically a bunch of people out of California that were trying to teach people how to grow the more rare and unusual fruit.
Yeah, because there was no YouTube at that time to look things up.
There was no YouTube. I was all by letters.
Yeah, by like actual mail.
Actual, real hard copy mail, correct.
That's cool.
And so it was corresponding that way and said, hey, we want to start our own chapter. So
in Arizona?
In Arizona. So I was the first president, teamed up with Fred Yerger, Dr. Yerger.
Okay.
I got that going. Allison Yerger, she's still around somewhere. And Al Fox and a few members there. And basically it was just to learn from the California people how to do it here.
You call it the Arizona Rare Fruit Growers?
Arizona Rare Fruit Growers. Technically it's the Arizona chapter of the California Rare Fruit Growers, or the Arizona Scion.
Okay, which is the Scion is the Arizona branch.
Branch, correct.
And if folks out there are watching and they want to come, how do they find out about it?
Go into the website, crfg.org, CaliforniaRareFruitGrowers.org, and then you can look under there and it has local chapters, has my name and address and so forth. We meet once a month. We're meeting this week, this Thursday at 7:30. I believe it's in the library room. There'll be some A-frame signs pointing you. At
Mesa Community College.
Mesa Community College, Dobson and Southern and Mesa.
And you guys say come to a meeting for free, but if you want to come more, then...
Yeah, you show up a few times is just to check it out and see if you want to join.
Okay.
After that you join. I think it's $39 a year to join.
For the year.
And you get 6 magazines and be able to come and rub shoulders with everybody, just know how to grow all this stuff and so forth.
I mean, that collaborative effort that you put together with this Arizona Rare Fruit Growers is priceless if you want to grow food at home.
Save you a lot of time and money.
Yeah.
To be able to know how to do it right the first time instead of do it all wrong like we did when we first started.
Right.
And this week, this Thursday, will be on air layering and also tea budding. Air layering, any tree that will air layer, and that's part of teaching is what stuff will air layer. But a lot of things are air layer, so you can force a tree to grow a tree in the branches.
Yeah.
And then plant it.
You can have the branches grow roots.
Branches grow roots. So come on out and show you how to do that. That would be great.
And then you're also going to talk about, you said a tea graft?
Or tea budding.
Tea budding.
It's where you learn how to tea bud avocados or citrus or a number of things where the bark slips, so you can slip a little bud in there and wrap it up and grow a new branch that's exactly the same as the mother tree.
And you can get a tree to fruit better that way, or you can actually grow a lemon on an orange or what have you.
I've got a number of trees that have 10, 15 different varieties on it.
So that leads me to ask you about what's behind us. What are these out here?
So this is the avocados. This is the Aravaipa or Arizona avocado.
Now, first of all, avocados can grow in Arizona?
They will grow in Arizona if you take the time to do it right.
Okay.
Baby them along a little bit through the cold and the heat.
Okay.
Change the microclimate a little bit. Give them extra shade. Keep a lot of mulch on the ground and so forth. So that's part of what we teach at the California Rare Fruit Growers and here at Green Light to teach how to grow them. So yes, avocados will grow here. I have grown avocados for years and fruited them successfully. You have to get the right varieties and know how to do it and plant dig the hole right, plant right, so forth, and yeah, they'll grow.
Okay, so this tree, the Arizona or the Aravaipa avocado, the leaves feel stronger, and this tree comes from Arizona. What is this avocado?
This is an avocado that I found when I was on a camping trip with my boys many years ago.
Okay, in the 80s or 90s or?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and see exactly what year. It was a long time ago.
Back before the internet.
Way before the internet.
Okay.
And the old rancher, there's Campbell said if we get up early in the morning, we might find some javelina out underneath the avocado tree. This is out in the middle of nowhere in Aravaipa Canyon. So what do you mean avocado trees? He said, yeah, we got an avocado tree out there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're crazy. They won't grow out here.
Yeah.
It's out in the middle of the desert and you know, in the cold country.
Yeah.
Sure enough, we woke up in the morning and there was a tree out there that was probably 80, 85 feet tall and had a trunk on it that I couldn't put my arms around.
Yep.
And it was huge and had tons of avocados on it. It was right at the end of the season, so it couldn't taste the really freshness, although we were able to eat a few there.
Yeah.
But the so exciting thing about it was growing by itself.
You were already into fruit trees at this point.
I was growing a few fruit trees at that time, not as much as I am now.
Sure.
Get crazy now.
But enough where you were like, this is pretty cool.
This is neat to find an avocado out here in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
This is something special. You don't find a tree like this that's this hardy and producing fruit by itself anywhere. So it was very rare. And the rancher there said he knows that it's been down to at least 10 degrees.
Wow.
So that for that tree, and it gets very hot too, and producing by itself, which means it's self-pollinating.
Yeah.
Which not a lot of avocados are. Just to be able to take that cold was the most exciting part. So we took some cuttings off of it with Al Falkenstein.
Okay.
Brought him back to his house and grafted on his tree and grafted some onto my seedling trees that I had.
You grafted some of the buds?
Some of the buds off of the Aravaipa.
Onto another avocado?
Correct. Okay. I called it Aravaipa because I found an avocado in Aravaipa Canyon.
Yeah.
So that was the name that I chose.
And what was the history of the tree? What did they say? How did it get there? Probably
that on that ranch there, which is right next to Aravaipa River, probably 100 yards away or so. They're also growing some citrus. There's a few citrus varieties that were planted in the late 1800s. He thought maybe 1890, 1895, somewhere in there.
Okay.
He figures maybe one of the workers, when they were digging the holes to put in the citrus trees, had an avocado for lunch and just stuck that pit in the ground. It's the only thing we could think of because it's not grafted, much as we could tell.
Yeah.
So it's just a seedling.
Wow. Okay,
planted 1890, 1895, somewhere in there. So it's over 100 years old and still growing strong, still doing great.
Yeah.
So the exciting part is it can take the cold, take the heat of Arizona.
And it's exciting how you guys were able to propagate it a little bit.
So we took it, propagated it. I had it on my house. I propagated it onto a seedling and grew it out for 7-8 years or so. Ended up with the trunk on it about 8 or 9 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
And also another branch of another seedling. So I had basically 2 trees there. And they ended up getting 20, 25 feet tall and 20 feet across, and I was getting hundreds of avocados every year.
Wow.
I'm doing great. Also on the seedling, when I grafted onto it, now the seedling started producing fruit. It was a little bit bigger fruit, but not quite as tasty.
Okay.
The Aravaipa avocado is a little bit smaller fruit. It's about the size of Fuerte.
Because most folks out there, they know the store-bought ones that are just the Haas.
So Fuerte, Haas, about the same thing. So it's about that size.
Okay.
And
you said it's green.
It's smooth green skin.
Okay. So when it's green skin, it's ripe.
It's still ripe and has green skin. The thing about green skin, that means it's a Mexican variety.
Oh, I see.
You've got 3 different types of avocados. You have Mexican, Guatemalan, and Indian. Okay. The Mexican is smooth green skin or smooth black skin, possibly.
Okay.
But the Guatemalan is the bumpy black skin like the Fuerte and Haas.
Right.
That's Guatemalan, I believe. And then the Indian is the great big avocados that get huge.
Yeah. But
they don't have much flavor from all the ones I've tasted.
So this one, you're thinking we're close to Mexico. It's a Mexican
should be
style.
Mexican variety because it has a smooth green skin.
I see.
Also has a higher oil content,
which is good. It makes it taste good.
Which gives it a lot better flavor.
Yeah.
And it has good flavor. It's not the best tasting avocado that I've ever tasted. Very good pit, smaller pit, good flesh.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yellow, buttery. I mean, it's great. Good flesh.
So
very good tasting.
So folks come out here and they see you and Seamus out here and they get one of these guys. What would be some Doug Jones tips of make sure that a beginner makes this thing work?
Okay, So you have to make sure you have good drainage. So
Okay.
you dig a good hole. Make sure it has good drainage. If the roots sit in water all the time, they're going to rot.
I see.
Okay, so good drainage, backfill with some extra sand, perlite,
Some lava sand.
good compost. The grow medium that we have here at Green Life is some really good. Got all the rock and stuff in it. Make
You
it
guys
grow
sell
good.
the mix that you approve
Sell the
of
mix
here.
would be great. Add some azomite,
Yep.
which is the nutrients, but not fertilizer. Don't fertilize the minerals. And plant it, you know, good, nice hole, backfill, all that mixed in, with maybe a fourth of that, but 3/4 of the original dirt.
Oh, I see.
Okay, make sure it's a jagged hole,
Oh,
not a round hole.
right, to give the roots some pockets to
If it's
find.
round hole, the roots just keep circling the hole and it ends up being root bound.
I've
It's
done,
got to be square hole with jagged edges so the roots go out into the soil.
that's great. I like to take a pick or something and just jagged the edges out.
Jagged the edges.
Cool.
Don't make it a round, you know, seen some people use an auger, a perfectly round hole, and
Yeah.
the roots just go round and round and round and the tree ends up dying.
Okay,
Okay, and then
good tip.
make sure when you plant it, you want to use a lot of mulch. Okay, avocados by themselves on bare ground, they won't produce.
So like
Okay,
what
so
we're
you
standing
want
on,
to use
leaves, wood
leaves,
chips,
grass
hay.
clippings, hay, whatever you can, at least a foot deep. I go 3 feet deep.
Okay.
Seriously.
3 feet deep of
3
actual-
feet deep of mulch.
And I've been to your property, and that's what you do.
Just dump as high as I can get on there with a wheelbarrow.
Now, do you put the
Don't-
3 feet just in that one little area, or?
Spread it from the trunk out, a foot away from the trunk. Don't have it right up against the trunk because you could get, you know, something eating the trunk or whatever.
Yeah.
But out 3 or 4 feet past the drip line. The drip line is where the edge of the leaves are.
Okay.
So put it out at least that far, and then you have to keep adding to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Put on
Maybe
some
seasonally.
mycorrhiza fungi, and then the worms. Add worms. The worms that most ground doesn't have the right worms.
You actually brought worms into
I
your
brought
property.
worms from my property. We have worms here when we sell the worm castings. It has eggs in it, so that's
so cool.
So we'll have worms to go along with it. That would be great.
Awesome.
And then keep adding to it because those worms and the mycorrhiza fungi are going to eat that down. I'll put on 3 feet, and by the end of it, 5 or 6 months, it's down to 6 inches or so, and I have to add another 3 feet.
Wow.
And just keep adding, and it just keeps turning into worm castings.
Cool.
I got places on my property where the worm castings are a foot deep, and that's where all the roots are. They
Seriously.
don't go down. They don't go down in the hard stuff. They want to be right there in the worm casting.
And you've been so generous to me. You've hooked me up with some great banana pups.
Yeah.
And literally, I've taken banana pups from other people. Yours are the easiest to harvest because you literally go into your yard,
Yeah.
you put a shovel in, and the banana pup breaks right off because it's 100% worm castings.
It's so good and so thick mulch and compost.
Your soil is like super fertile and
That's
super
really
black.
good. Yeah, it does really good. Bananas grow really good, and the avocados do really good.
Well, I hope folks out there see this, come visit you in person at the Arizona Rare Fruit Growers, and maybe come to our gardening event we'll host at your place in April if you're up for it.
That would be great. Come on out, Green Life.
Yeah.
Wherever, see you at the Rare Fruit Growers meeting this Thursday, 7:30, Mesa Community College. If you're able to come, that would be great.
And if you want to get some of these amazing trees and more,
These
Green
are
Life by Seamus
incredible.
O'Leary.
These are only, if you look at this tree, this is only a year old,
This one.
but it's been growing in ideal conditions.
Yeah.
So it's perfect, ready to stick in the ground. Treat it right, it will take off and grow like crazy.
I mean, you guys have
Change.
put it here under these other trees on purpose.
Give it some extra shade.
Yep.
Okay? And what doesn't sell this before summertime, we'll put it in extra shade, keep it going.
Yeah.
So change the microclimate in your yard.
Mm-hmm.
Give it what it needs for the first few years, and then it takes off on its own and grow.
And I'll put all of Seamus's information down below, the phone number and his website. And thanks for all the knowledge and expertise and being in the video.
You're welcome. Gosh, your hand is cold.
I'm freezing out here.
It's cold out here.
I had no idea it was going to be this cold for this video.
Dropped like crazy. It's amazing.
I really want the information, but I think I might die of hypothermia listening to you. But
You're really cold.